guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from CYCLIC Cosplay, and today we're watching you guys Steins episode 19.
Yes.
And damn it, Mayuri is still dead.
Suzu as well.
Fudge!
They blew up with the time traveling machine, which was, well, the machine was supposed to get destroyed according to the professor. His future self contacted him through Kagari and the brainwashing and everything. And he was working towards maybe stealing the machine before it got destroyed. So he almost did, but Kagari came in like a champ before she died and she stopped him. Don't know if he's still alive, but Suzu did not kill him. They stopped her before she did. And she and Mayuri were, gonna leave with the machine while America and Russia were fighting it out. And they got destroyed with it. So
she wasn't supposed to be dead, though.
No, I know.
It's the wrong timeline.
And now Okarin is still, he's not doing well. English. He's not doing well, and he tried to use the microwave right away, but it's not working right now. So he's gonna have to rebuild it. But as he was despairing, in his despair, losing himself in despair, he got a message from Mayuri right before she got to join Suzu, and she was saying, how she had to do this. It was her job. She felt guilty for, for stopping him before, and she should have pushed him. And she's like, you know what? I love you just as much as I love. Well, I think I might love you more than your persona, Maho and Kyoma, which was not what she said before. So I thought it was really sweet. And she said, I'm doing this, and yes, I am scared, but I know in my heart that if something happens, you'll come and save me. So I guess we have to go and save her again. So let's build that machine. Let's save Mayuri. Let's pick up Okarin from the ground.
World.
Yeah, let's save the world. Let's do all of this shit in 1 week. Come on. And then what? How many episodes do we have left?
5.
Let's do all of this in 5 episodes. Let's go. He's a true hero. He's a true fucking hero. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. I knew that we weren't done with all this time leap and time machine, time travel thing, because we still had the ending of this season. But seeing Okarin doing it over and over again because it doesn't work out at the end, it's just so painful to watch.
That's the thing. That's the thing I take from this episode. First of all the motivation, the willpower, the hope we had, of him going back in time and changing things, and watching everyone participate and fill the lab with members and just be all working together to do this just gave me so much joy. And then I do take from this episode what you said about, him basically being faced with a problem similar to what destroyed him in the first season and still deciding to do it.
Now we know something though. Technically the first time it means that the professor was just waiting, and when they were about to go inside the machine he just intervened. So he's technically already there, waiting for the right moment to just take the machine and leave.
Well, probably, it's relative, like time can change depending on how stuff went the first time and how it's going the second time. It could just be that the first time Okarin was there a bit earlier, and then he was in the corridor. He was inside when the professor showed up, so the professor did not get to the roof as early as he did this time.
Yeah.
But and Kagari in the first timeline killed Professor Reyes for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why. I don't know why she did not kill her this time. But that's a change. If it wasn't for Reyes, they would have had time to maybe leave. I say it's true if Okarin doesn't stop the girls from leaving, maybe they will have time. He needs maybe to focus more on the professor rather than the girls. He needs to make sure that Reyes doesn't show up, and that's confirmed. She was the one in the helmet, so thank God we know. Like we knew she was, she was part of the villains because we saw that look. But it's nice to finally have confirmation.
And she's with Dorpa, right? She's with
apparently
Dorpa?
Yes. Well, she basically works for the company that wants the the machine in the US, and the professor wants it for himself. So they're kind of working on the same side, but they're not working on the same side, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that explains a lot of stuff. But, so we need to deal with her, we need to deal with Kagari, although I don't think she would kill Mayuri, but she's still gonna be a problem. And the professor. So Okarin needs to focus on that. But what this is for next episode. What I take from this one is really the courage in this guy for him to, rebuild this machine with the help of Maho and Daru and basically redo what he did in season 1, knowing what happened in season 1, knowing where it led to, knowing where it led him, considering the trauma, considering the PTSD, considering, how he is and how he's been with this for one season. It's heartwarming, and it's just so great to see this guy who we talked about this in season 1, about how he's just a random guy who tried to pretend, that he was important. He pretended that he was a mad scientist, like he could change the world, make big things, and then he was pushed in this position where he was actually the only one with the power to perhaps save the world. And he got, he had to deal with that. But now we get to see, once again, he's one of the only ones with the power to save the world. And since the beginning of the season, he's decided not to do shit because he's not a hero. But it's in those moments when the hero knows the stakes, he knows the consequences, and he knows what it's going to do to him if he does it. But he does it anyway because there's a bigger purpose. In this case, yes, it's kind of selfish because it's less about saving the world and more about saving Mayuri and Suzu, but it's still...
Well, technically, right now, he's trying to say Mayuri and Suzu are trying to go back to in time.
But he did say that, he did give a speech about protecting the timeline that Makise, sacrificed herself for. Mm-hmm. So making sure that everyone would be fine. And it's true that if he doesn't prevent World War III, no one is going to be safe. So... It starts with Mayuri and Suzu, but it changes into, by default, we will also stop World War III. So it's nice because that, to me, proves he's a true hero. It's just that he never had confidence that this, was in his power, that he was meant to do this, that he had the strength to do this. He was just so destroyed after season 1 that I think he thought... kind of like Amadeus was saying, and kind of like Maho was thinking, he wasn't good enough, because whenever he tried to change things, he would just make things worse. So now that Makise did the change, he doesn't want to touch anything.
That tends to do it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
if you're trying over and over again to achieve something, and every time you just gotta finish a failure or get it worse,
and in the end, it wasn't even him.
That you're the problem, and whatever you're trying to do would never be enough. Yeah.
And this Okarin, all he knows is that he didn't do shit. He suffered and he messed up, and Makise is the one who decided, you know what, we'll go back to the original timeline and let me die. That's it. He didn't succeed in saving her. So in his mind, he's failed everything, and he's not the one that did the change. Makise was. She's the one who built the machine. She's the one who made the decision to save this timeline and save Mayuri. He just failed. So of course he wouldn't have the confidence to, do things and help save the world and help save Mayuri, but he's doing it because he has to. And I love this burst of motivation and just strength that he found because of Mayuri's text, because of, Maho and how she felt and how she told him she felt, and he helped her. And I think by default he's also helping himself, connecting with both of the girls. And I feel like it's the true Okarin that just shines through once more. It's the one that keeps trying despite the fact that he knows it's probably gonna fail.
Well, you know what? For all she's saying that she will never be like Makise, never be as smart or as special as her. Maho does have many resemblance with Makise.
And Okarin, if you think about it.
And Okarin too. And it's not for nothing that we saw a glimpse of her in the sunlight with kind of reddish hair, and he thought of is it Kurisu, but it was Maho, obviously.
Yeah.
But our mind, the way that she think of and the way that she take care of her friends, and Okarin just remind us of Makise.
The only thing though that makes me sad is
she just like the confidence to do it.
The Okarin from season 1, who we follow at the end, the one that will live his timeline, will never know Maho. At least we
Don't
don't.
remind me that, please.
At least not in this way. Like, considering that Makise and Maho were connected, there's a good chance that if he's, and he ends up with Makise, he will meet Maho.
Yeah.
But it will never be like that, But he won't even know, that Maho helped his future self save the world. And Maho will not have dealt with her issues, but at least Makise won't be dead in this timeline, so hopefully she has time to deal with this. I think it's the fact that, I think there was a rivalry between the two when she was alive, but it's the fact that she died that destroyed Maho, because now that she's dead, she can no longer settle this, and she was stuck with the grief and the guilt about, feeling angry that she wanted to surpass her and she wanted to do better, but then how do you do that when the person is dead without, destroying her memory?
Yeah.
So I think her dying basically destroyed Maho, but if Makise is alive, there's a chance that the rivalry will keep going.
But it is true that technically in the right timeline when everything will be settled and fine, it's true that
Maho is not there.
Maho will not be there. Well, he might be able to meet her in the future
she
because
won't
he's
be
gonna
part
be
of the
connected
lab.
to Makise, and maybe Makise is gonna bring her to the lab. Who knows?
Perhaps, but that's
I'm wishing for a happy ending
that's
for
a
everybody.
that's a big if. Like, it's a potential future.
I believe in that if. Okay?
But this Maho won't be there though. That's the thing. That's why I'm like, it's sad though if you think about it.
Yes.
But with that aside, if we focus on the Maho from there, it's true. I'm glad that just like Okarin, she's trying to push through her, her disappointment in herself, her lack of confidence, because she truly believes that she's not good enough. But you've got Okarin who basically pushes her, and I love this, and I love that she did it. And just the fact that Okarin can go back in time is proof enough for Maho that she did it. That's all she needs. I did it, so I know I can do it again.
Yep.
It's the motivation that she needs. And now we've got, everyone working together. It feels better than the first time when Mayuri kept dying over and over again, because back then, Okarin was alone.
Yeah.
He was doing this, of course,
But
and yes, Makise was helping, but
everybody else can be there to help him.
And it's not, it's a bit different because in the first season, yes, Makise eventually was there and he did speak to her and it helped him a lot, but she didn't know everything about what he was going to go through or he was going through in season 1, because they hadn't lived it yet. And, and you compare it to, Daru and Maho now, they've heard the tale of what happened to Okarin in season 1. So they know how to handle him. They know how to talk to him a bit. And he knows what to expect from this. He's lived it before. So I think it's going to be we know it's going to be just fine. But I feel like this episode, even though it failed, gave me more hope for the future. So I'm all into this. I'm very, very excited.
Okay.
And we have 4 episodes left, 5 with the OVA.
Yep.
Which we are gonna watch in costume too, just like the last 2 episodes, if we have time to do the costumes.
We'll find the time.
I'm excited.
I've go back in time. That's what it takes.
I've had my wig for months now, so I'm very excited. But I'm not ready to say goodbye to this show. I'll be very sad when it happens. It's such a good show.
Alright.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next one right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out if you want. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, with the next one to be out on YouTube, which will be next week, guys.
Yes.
So, see you then.
Bye.
Bye.